problem here. I'm gonna flip this around and show you. Alright, for some reason, the idle's absolutely beautiful, starts right up. I got all the spark plug wires pulled off right now. I know the firing order, so I'm not worried about that. And I pulled all the spark plugs, put a little transmission fluid down the top of each cylinder so they could soak in case I'm just low on compression. I can't test the compression yet because my dad's borrowing my compression tester. So, but anyways, unless you keep the choke about that far open, it won't rev up. It acts like it's not getting enough fuel or something like that. If it's wide open when the choke warms up, you know, the electric choke there, then it still idles beautiful, but it won't rev up. It'll just die if you try and give it throttle. Now I thought maybe I just wasn't getting enough fuel, so I went ahead and pulled the top off, checked the bowls. Both of the sides are full of fuel, and so it wasn't running out of fuel for sure. And so I'm not 100% sure what's going on here yet. So my plans is I'll let these cylinders soak overnight with some transmission fluid, get my compression tester back from my dad tomorrow, and check the compression in the cylinders. Some of them are, all of them are low. Then I pull the valve cover off and check the valve lash and see where that's sitting. And if they're not right, get them all sitting right. It's about where I'm at right now. I can't thoroughly think of anything else. Tried to take it for a test drive. As long as I idle it around in first gear, it's fine. If I pump the crap out of the carburetor while I'm going really like boom, 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 really fast here, then it'll stay running and kind of rev up. You know, I've checked all the vacuums. I sprayed around here all the way around the carburetor to see if it made any idling differences, and it doesn't. So there's nothing sucking air or leaking air into the carburetor, and the bowls are full of fuel. So that's why I'm thinking either it's just low on compression or the valves ain't shutting right. Opening and shutting might be sticking from sitting for so many years or for so long. Because they drove it over here and parked it here when I bought it. That was about a year ago. Hasn't ran since then until now. Carburetor is completely rebuilt now. And it's got fuel cleaner and fuel in it. New fuel. Got 2 fuel filters. One that came with the brand new pump that we just put on here. And this fuel filter. It's got all brand new fuel line with new clamps. So it can't be sucking there. It seems like it's getting plenty of fuel, even though it acts like it's not. The only thing I can think of is either I'm low on compression or the valve lash is off. If the valve lash is off, it'll cause me to be low on compression as well. So we're just gonna have to check that, and I guess that'll be tomorrow. But just a quick update. Hey guys, let me turn this around here. I just finished adjusting the valve lash, just put the valve cover back on. It's sealing up right now. Have no gasket for it, so it's just some red hot silicone. Had all the plugs out, soaked with transmission fluid overnight in the cylinders. Cleaned up all the spark plugs, re-gapped them. The reason the pistons were soaked in transmission fluid, it helps loosen up the rings. And then you blow it all out by cranking the engine over. And then I adjusted the valve lash. The intake is set to 8 degrees and the exhaust is set to 10 degrees using the rule of 9. It's what it is say you got on the 4-cylinder you got 8 valves. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so valve 1 plus what, 8? 1 plus 8 makes 9, the rule of 9. So 1 plus a total of 8 valves, which would be the farthest one over here, make 9. So this one has to be all the way down on, you got to kind of rock the crank back and forth a little bit with a ratchet and 5/8 socket down there make sure you got it all the way down. And then once you have it all the way down, you can go ahead and adjust number 1 intake valve to 8 degrees. And then once you have number 1 adjusted, you get number 7, because 7 plus 2 is 9, rule of 9. So you get number 7 all the way down, and which opens the valve all the way when it's all the way down. And then you take the second rocker arm and you adjust it to 10 degrees, because that's the exhaust valve. So intake, exhaust, intake, exhaust, intake, exhaust, intake, exhaust. Using the rule of 9, went through every one of these and adjusted them to 8 and 10 degrees. And I got the spark plug gaps set to 34 thousandths, which is where they're supposed to be. And the timing, I was just told, according to the auto parts store I called, said this is supposed to be between 10 and 14 degrees. I have it set at 8 degrees. So maybe that's why I couldn't get it to rev up. It was too retarded. As in, the timing was retarded, as in turned down. Anyways, just wanted to give you a quick update on that. I'm about to get this thing fired up and adjust the timing with the timing light, get it set at 10 degrees, and go from there. Well, got it all together, about to take it on its first little test drive. Idling real good, and the axles are all back. Well, I didn't tell you that. I guess I broke an axle already trying to take it out. And but I had my welder turned down way low, and so I cranked it up this time and got the rod actually beat red, and hopefully this time it's going to hold. Idling pretty decently. You know, only about 700 RPMs, and you pump it a couple times and it fires right up. And this gasket down here was leaking, and it wasn't even a gasket. I don't know if you can even, yeah, right here is leaking all on here. And there's an O-ring in there. Now it's completely flattened, and I just happen to have an O-ring kit, and I just replaced the O-ring, and no more leaking. And topped the oil back off. And now I'm going to go for a little test drive. I'll let you know how it goes.